I have here two pens that I bought about 30 years ago, a little bit longer than that, maybe 94, 93. I'm thinking 1993, 1994. When I was still working at a mall and wasn't making very much money, and there was a pen store outside of where I worked that I could go to, and I was trying to find nice, reliable, quality pens at a good price. A lot of times I would look at the sales, the clearance, and anyway, this one right here, this is the Laureat, and this is the Executive. Now, I wasn't paying attention to the names of them at the time. That didn't really matter to me. I was just looking for a good pen, and what I'm going to attempt to do is go over the similarities and the differences. And there are a lot of similarities, but there are plenty of differences as well. Now, the first thing that I did not have a catalog for that time period. I have 1990, but it still had the same range of pens. And what I did was, to get the price and to get the names, was I went to Waterman and I tried to find the pens. And the first one I came across was, let me zoom out here a little bit. This is my cheat sheet. Move that out of the way, that's not important right now. Was to find my pen, and here it is. This is the G, so this is the Executive Collection, and G ballpoint was $50. The pen's retracted, so I'm not writing on it. So the Executive was $50. All right, and this one right here is the Laureat, which is this one. Now it's more or less the same. This one is polished, mine is matte. And if we go down to red lacquer, ballpoint 25. So this was half the price of this one. Those are retail prices, and then in the center here they have sale prices, but I don't need to go into that. I was just giving an idea for right now. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the two. Why is the Executive twice the price, or was twice the price, of the Laureat? Now, as you can see, the Executive is, I think of it more like a tiger's eye. I don't know how easy it is to see, but it does have this kind of almost goldish brown kind of striping going through the black lacquer. And this one again is just red matte. The dimensions on the two, let me get my cheat sheet here. All right, the Executive is 5.5 inches long compared to 5.5, so exactly the same on those two. Cap diameter. Now I am referring to this as a cap clicker as opposed to a button clicker, which I thought I had one out here, a Schaefer, but I do not. So you know what a button clicker is. A button clicker is just like the jotter, just has the button on the top you click. Anyway, okay, cap clicker, button clicker. This is the cap clicker. Now there's, I'm sure, a name for these, I just don't know what it is. Cap diameter, this part. So on the Executive, this is 9.54 millimeters. Cap diameter on the Laureat is 9 millimeters, so about a half a millimeters difference there. On the Executive, the barrel diameter is 8.7 millimeters, 8 millimeters on the Laureat. Difference, again, bigger, which you would expect. Cap length on the Executive is 2.45 inches, so just under 2.5. Cap on this is 2.42, slight difference, barely any noticeable difference there. And then the, let's see, what do we got here? Clip length is the next one. Clip length on both of them are 1.9 inches. So in that respect, there isn't that much of a difference. You can see they both have gold-plated clips, finials, bands, and nibs. This one is fancier and larger and longer. And on the band, this one is thinner. It has more of a round profile, whereas this one is flat and thicker. Both of them say Waterman, made in France. And of course you have the difference in the finial. This is one. This is kind of one stacked on top of the other, kind of that look of double. Now to the guts. And also I'm going to mention this too. These have not aged well. I also have a hemisphere that fell apart on me. Now this one, you should just be able to unscrew here to get to the refill. But with this one, this nib turns, so I actually have to hold the nib down to unscrew it if I want to change the refill. The issue with this one is, okay, you can see the tip of the refill is not coming out all the way, so I have to turn the cap to get it to come out, but then the cap doesn't want to open. So in other words, to get the tip of the cartridge to come out, I actually have to loosen up the cap. Alright, now taking a look at the guts. Of course, the Executive is going to be heavier. I don't have a scale, but you can see that the Laureat is plastic, whereas the Executive is brass. So that would add to the weight of the pen. I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't really use these that much. Actually, I probably haven't even touched them in about 5 years. And of course I have to hold the nib down to screw that in. It seems to work fine other than that, so that's good. Let's put this one back together. You know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I don't know if there's like a catch, because you can see it has this little notch here that sticks out. If there's somewhere in the cap that it needs to get caught correctly. See, now it is, well, see, there's what happens when it's tight. So if I loosen it up, and if it doesn't want to come out all the way, it's more difficult to write with, because now you're scratching. You just take a little piece of scrap paper here. And it's black ink in that one. Blue ink in that one. Again, they're both the same Waterman cartridges, so it doesn't really, I can swap them out or put a different cartridge in there. That's part of owning a ballpoint pen, is it's not part of the pen. It's something that you can add at a different point. And this one, I'm not sure if it came in a box. If it did, I lost the box. I usually try to keep the boxes, so I would find that surprising. And it's just a standard Waterman's. You can see it's got some dents from sitting in the box where I keep my pens. Anyway, that is the difference between these two pens. The difference and the similarities, I guess I should say. And if you enjoyed the video, just click like. You can always subscribe. That always helps. And also, liking and subscribing also gives me an idea of what people are interested in. Do they like these older but not vintage pens? Do they like the newer stuff? Do you like the vintage pens? So I can get kind of an idea, and at some point I would imagine it would start helping me out in the long run anyway. But yeah, if you like it, comment is always helpful too. Anyway, thanks for watching, and bye.